But the thing is, and because of your father being in the film industry, and I mean, there's this whole conversation about nepotism, blah, blah, blah. But the fact is that if you've actually seen show business from within, you would have seen the ups and downs that a lot of people may not have because of the fact of your father being there. That's one element of it. Second, you would also notice how deeply hierarchical show business is. It's perhaps the most capitalist of
which is changing now.
Which is changing, of course. But when you were a kid, that certainly was. Did you have observations on that while growing up? Because you eventually became an actor, but there are a few things, okay, fine, in the hierarchical system, would I be a star? Because it's either a star and everyone is like, whatever, right? Did that ever?
नहीं, ये ख्याल कभी नहीं आया. But to be honest, ये भी नहीं था कि I had that reality check कि मुझे पता था मैं launch नहीं होने वाला. I don't know how that was there, and it was not with a feeling of resent or that कि यार मैं क्यों नहीं launch हो रहा. My father is also in the industry. ऐसा कभी नहीं था. पता नहीं क्यों नहीं था, but नहीं था कभी भी. मुझे पता था that I can only make a mark by knowing my job, by really going through the drill and getting those opportunities on the basis of what I know. And also what had happened was, see, being my father's son. Like firstly, my father had made it clear when I told him that I want to be an actor. He said that I'm going to be with you as a father, not as an action director. That was made very, very clear to me. Secondly, utna reality check tha that I know that if somebody is going to spend crores of money, he's not going to do it because I'm Sham Kaushal's son. He's not going to do that.
Unless Sham Kaushal does it himself.
Correct. But that I knew never was going to happen, and that I wouldn't want to happen. You know, my father's got stories to tell me. I want some stories for myself to tell to my kids. And this can't be my story that, you know, my father put in money for my first film. So that was there. So I knew that I wanted to know the job, I wanted to learn the job, and I wanted to make a mark for myself. Ye bhi nahi tha, to be very honest, my dream was also not that big that I want to be a hero. Of course, every actor wishes to be that.
To play the lead part, right.
But pata nahi kyun, maybe it was my complexes or my underconfidence or whatever कि मुझे था कि अरे हीरो पता नहीं कोई मौका देगा कि नहीं, मुझे बस एक्टिंग करा लो. मतलब वो ऑटो पायलट में ही था कि नो, आई हैव टू गिव ऑडिशंस, I have to learn the craft through theatre, I have to be an AD and learn.
You did a lot of theatre.
I did. My start of the career was being an assistant director to Anurag Kashyap because I really...
Is this before or after Rage Productions where you were a production assistant?
Before.
This is before? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Before. So I was an intern on Gangs of Wasseypur as an AD because I wanted to see that when I, like, you know, during my college time when I decided that I want to be an actor after I finished my graduation, what I started doing as a prep was I started reading scripts that my dad used to get just to see कि अच्छा क्या होता है, film अच्छा ऐसी होती है पहले. Those scripts were the films that have already come out. So then I used to see that difference कि अच्छा ये film है, this is the script, these are the scenes that have changed. Okay, this is what the actor has done, which I am visualizing like this, but he's done something like this. So all of that I was doing. I started going on sets with dad just to learn कि क्या होता है, कैसे फिल्में बनती हैं. But then I understood that I'm just a visitor on set and I can never learn.
You'll never learn anything.
I'll never learn. But what I got to see was that there's an assistant director who's like with every department and who's doing the majority of running around and the groundwork. So I was like, यार ये क्या काम है? This I never knew. And then I was very sure of the fact that कि after I get done with my graduation and I will be fully throwing myself into this world, I want to be an assistant director for sure, just to do the job. And also क्या हो जाता है, मैंने engineering किया यहाँ पे and it was all bookish, like I don't know anything, I can't repair a TV also, you know. So मुझे वैसा actor नहीं बनना था कि किताबें मैं फिल्में देख लूँ, किताबें पढ़ लूँ और मैं actor बन गया. I wanted to be an engineer who's been at the garage for 4 years. So I wanted to dive into, like, get an on-field learning. I asked Anurag sir and he was very sweet that he, you know, let
was
me
it paid or was it unpaid labor?
No, unpaid.
Unpaid, no? Yes, this I don't understand. Why are ADs not paid? I mean,
no, the ADs are paid.
But you were the unpaid intern.
Yeah. Intern का तो मतलब ही वही होता है ना.
नहीं यार, नहीं होना चाहिए. गलत है.
आप unpaid हो.
गलत है.
But the payment I wanted, I got it.
Sure. You were learning. It was a film school.
It was not for the money. It was for the learning, and I really got paid well in that. That was my first thing, and then because of the actors that were there in the film, I got to know the importance of theatre. Earlier, being active on stage since school, still I was very fearful of the fact to do professional theatre.
And most actors are stage actors in that film. Right.
So I got to know the importance of that, you know, when I interacted with them. And that's when I started doing theatre in 2012. I started doing theatre with Manav Kaul, Kumud Mishra, Nasir Saab. Lots of young groups. There's this Thespo festival that happens in Prithvi Theatre, which is for under 25 people. So I used to take part in that. Backstage, on stage, anything. So the Rage production thing that you asked me for, that's my first
paid job.
Paycheck. Yeah.
Right. So theatre paid you, movies did not.
Yeah, but I wasn't part of movies. I mean, I just did, and I was very clear that I want to be an assistant director on one film. Because what usually tends to happen
that
is
becomes a job.
That becomes a job, and then you start doing कि चलो यार एक दो और फिल्में कर लेता हूँ ये वो, and then because what the tricky thing also of being an assistant director is that what happened was कि मैंने assistant director बना for Gangs of Wasseypur, and for the longest time for Anurag Kashyap, he always saw me as an assistant director. He could never see me as an actor. So I had to cut off from being an assistant director. I cut off completely from Anurag Kashyap, his world and everything. I started doing theatre. And then I went back after 2 years to him as an actor. I had to clean that slate that मैं assistant director नहीं हूँ. So.
But he made you act in the film, did he?
Which one?
Did you do a walk-on part or something in Gangs?
Yeah.
Where do we spot you?
This was a scene where Nagma Khatun, Richa Chadda, goes to a brothel where she catches Manoj Bajpayee's character, and all the other artists in that brothel are all ADs. It's the entire direction team in that brothel. Because वहाँ पे we were shooting in Banaras and वहाँ पे लोगों ने मना कर दिया. उनको जब पता लगा कि it's a brothel scene, they're like हम तो नहीं करेंगे ये, हम तो नहीं करेंगे. तो last minute हमने कहा ठीक है फिर कपड़े दो हमें.
So the junior artist said that we will not do a brothel scene.
Not at all. They just refused. They were in costumes and everything. And जैसे उनको पता लगा कि ये scene है, like हम तो नहीं कर रहे ये, कुछ भी करा लो, पैसे मत दो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, हम नहीं कर रहे. And then फिर Anurag Kashyap looks at his होनहार ADs,
looks at his gang.
Yeah, and then we were like, clap छोड़ो, walkie talkie निकालो, बनो, and everybody, there's Neeraj Ghewan in that.
Achha.
There's me in that. There's other ADs. Everybody's an AD on that. So I am that silhouette that you see when Nagma Khatun is cursing Sardar Khan, and पीछे ना एक खिड़की है, उस खिड़की में ग्रिल लगे हुए हैं. उस ग्रिल से एक बंदा ओवर एक्टिंग करता हुआ बाहर झांक रहा है कि कौन है ये लड़की जो गालियां दे रही है. That silhouette is me. That was the first time I faced camera. Yeah.
Okay, wasn't the first time you faced camera with Michael Winterbottom?
Yes, that was the first time I faced camera and you could see my face.
Oh, wow.
It was not a silhouette.
What was that? What's the story behind that?
This was Michael Winterbottom was making this film called Trishna with Riz Ahmed and Frida Pinto. Right. We had just finished shooting Gangs of Wasseypur, and I had these braces and everything, and I was an AD. And I had just gotten done. This was March 2011. And I come back to Bombay, and we had a rap party in Banaras, and everybody was dancing and everybody was having a good time. And I have gone to Punjab, to my native place with my family, and I get a call from Anurag Kashyap saying कि अच्छा सुन क्या कर रहा है? And I'm like कुछ नहीं सर मैं गाँव आया हूँ ये वो. अच्छा सुन एक आइटम नंबर करेगा क्या? हैं? हाँ तू हुमा माइकल विंटरबॉटम की फिल्म, मैं भी एक्टिंग कर रहा हूँ, हम सब एक्टिंग कर रहे हैं, बहुत मजा आएगा. मैंने कहा ठीक है सर कर लूँगा, बताओ क्या करना है. तो आ जा तू वापस. तो फिर the first thing I do is I take off get done with my braces, and so he tells me it's a song, it's a shoot it's a film in a film. Frida's character has come to Bombay from Rajasthan, and a friend of hers takes her to film sets and stuff like that. And there's a song that is being shot by Ganesh Acharya. Right. It's being picturized between me and Huma Qureshi. We're doing an item number. And that song, when the film was supposed to release in India, that song was supposed to be the promotional song like Jai Ho or whatever.
Ah, got it.
So the song, whatever. Yeah. But that film never released.
So it was supposed to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a proper song. But in the film, it's a scene.
Sure.
But when that film was coming to India, that had to be that song. Right. Yeah, that was the first time I faced the camera. Ganesh Acharya sir directing us, choreographing us, and so I still remember I was wearing this shimmery black, very typically item number costume, which I was very conscious of. I was like, ये क्या पहना दिया मुझे? And then I had to do that typical dance floor dancers, and I still remember this was a set on Chandivali, and they're like, it's the first time I was facing a camera which was like a jib and the jabang and everything and smoke machine and all of that. Everybody's looking at you. And I wanted to become an actor. Sure. And this was my moment. Yeah. But I wasn't prepared to how it feels in front of a camera. Right. So I remember that all the dancers, like 50 dancers, had to separate, and the music starts and I had to like give an entry, solo. And I remember it was all rehearsals and everything is done, and I'm trying to think that I'm confident. I'll do it. Vicky will do it. And the dancers separate, and first take, Ganesh Acharya sir on the mic, and I go ding, tak, tak, ding, and I come out. And I see 200 people, so my body is dancing, but my face is like this. And I didn't notice that my face is like this, but I saw it in the monitor and my face was lost. It was like, whoa. It was like that. And then Ganesh Acharya sir was very sweet. So he came to me and he's like, कोने में लेके जाके, he's like, बेटा तू बहुत अच्छा डांस कर रहा है, तू बहुत अच्छा डांस कर रहा है, अब ना तू यहाँ से नाच, तेरा बस ये नहीं नाच रहा. So I was like, oh, acha. And that's when he made me see the monitor and I was like, sir, can we do one more? And then we did more takes and that was the first time I faced the camera.